Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you the daily Tesla report for Friday, October 14th, 2022. Before I jump into the charts, please click like each and every time you watch any video analysis that you actually genuinely like on the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. That will provide you notification if you set them properly for receiving notifications each and every time new content is uploaded to the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel. And please share with friends and colleagues. Let's take a look. I'm going to walk the big picture again and show that a couple of weeks ago, actually 2 weeks ago, this coming Monday, we gapped below midterm support in the 260s, anticipating then 206.85 as a 3 to 5 week target, which we realized inside of 2 weeks on Thursday, and 186.38 as a 2 to 3 month objective. This allows a double bottom to play out perhaps at 206.85, a level we did test on Thursday, allows a double bottom to play out for a potential rally back into the 260s before potentially falling back off to the 186.38 formation. Now there's no certainty, of course, that we'll test 186.38. That would become much clearer if we were to close today below 206.85. In any event, 186.38, if tested over the next few weeks, able to contain selling through the rest of the year. Let's take a look at the day. Well, let's take a look. I'm going to show you kind of the big picture of what I'm looking at here. This is a daily chart. We have a new descending 1/3 speed line projected off that all-time high from last November against Thursday's low. Thursday put out a new move post all-time high low. We took out the 206.85 by just a bit, 206.22, and we closed above Wednesday's high. Key reversal low. This is oftentimes a sign of not only oversold trade, but potential gains here, substantial gains as we move into November trade. Once again, there's no certainty with respect to that. I do have 225.38 as a very simple channel top that if settled above, and it is a 2-star resistance I have for today, it is in reach above 219.52. And in fact, this is not an updated chart. But it's close. We settled not far off that mark. 225.38. I'm assuming it'll be tested today. It could contain buying into next week. And from there, we could fall back to 206.85, potentially within the day. But I really want to caution you against, how should I say this? After having tested 206.85, if you do sell 225.38, and it is there for aggressive day traders, if you do sell 225.38, just know that if we push through it, we may well reach 240.57 on an intraday basis. In fact, I think it's likely, and I can show that right here. Here's your 225.38, kind of blown up version of the same chart. If we push or open today above 225.38, you can see that 240.57 with this kind of volatility is certainly in reach today by the closing bell. And I'm just giving this a 1-star status. In other words, it can contain daily buying pressures. If we close above 225.38, I'm going with the possibility, the idea that this market can make its way all the way back into the 260s again over the next several weeks. Now, of course, 240.57 will be a meaningful pivot point itself on the way up, so you can certainly play this in stair-step fashion. I wrestled for a little bit today with whether to just call 225.38 a single star session containment level, the same with 240.57, that holding above 206.85, now that we have a double bottom, the market may well be inclined to push back into the 260s over the next several weeks, and these 225.38 and 240.57 levels are mere short to near term pivot points on the way up. So once again, closing above 225.38 does lend credence to the whole idea that we may well follow through up into the mid 260s over the next several weeks, and then finally closing above 240.57 would be the final shoe to drop on that particular scenario. We may then be inside of 3 to 5 days of reaching the 260s. There's a lot going on in the 260s. Former channel bottom at 264.78. Still a former rising 2/3 speed line, 269.39. And as I mentioned earlier, a new descending 1/3 speed line that is presently at 274.48 and dropping. That'll be in the 260s by the end of next week. So you know, I'm just kind of painting a scenario here where we may well rally into the 260s over the next 2 to 3 weeks. And of course, 225.38 and 240.57 will both have something to say about that. If we push through, by the way, 225.38 today, 233.09 is our first target. And it could contain intraday buying pressures, depending on the time of day we test it, possibly through the rest of the day. But pushing through 233.09, 240.57 should be expected. And I showed that here earlier. You can see how if we push through 225.38, 240.57 in reach on an intraday basis, I think that would be the extent of today's rally if it were to occur. And if once again we close above 240.57, we should by the end of next week reach into the mid 260s, where I might add we can top out through November and then fall off from there back to 206.85. This is where I was talking earlier about the 2 to 3 month 186.38 objective. We could rally back into the 260s over the next week, 2 or 3, and then fall off, and by the end of the year test the 186.38 level. Talking downside today, all the minor levels have been carefully chosen. They're very well suited for aggressive day traders, but it is still 206.85 that stands out as sort of the sort of stick your neck out buy level on at least a daily basis. If we do close today below 206.85, we should by the end of next week test that 186.38 channel bottom, where we could bottom out once again through the rest of the year and possibly well into next. And I'm just wondering if there's anything else that needs to be said, and I do not think so. All the charts here you can click on. If you download this, you can click on any of them, and it'll take you to the respective chart so you can see exactly what I'm saying. All the support and resistance levels are noted on the same exact page. They're all the same, and so, there you have it. Please click like and subscribe, and we will talk soon. We'll be back Sunday afternoon with Monday's Daily Tesla Report. You have a great weekend.